Welcome to Tabletop Gaming Guild. Tabletop Gaming Guild is all about the experiences and memories that playing tabletop games with friends and families can create. Today, I'm all by myself. Okay, I can't sing. I shouldn't sing. But anyways, I am going to look at a solo game today, which is Turing Machine. Well, technically you can play this with a group, but, you know, it does seem like it's going to be multiplayer solo, essentially. I have never played this game. I got a rough grasp on how it's played. So let's just get into this. I'll start just kind of learning how to play. But so my rough understanding is I need to pick a code. I am going to pick 5, 3, 1. And then I'm going to test that code. Okay, so you see I have different, like a template that I'm going to be looking through, and I can pull based on these verification cards, which I can test 3 of these. And I should have looked at this before I picked my code. So I can test whether yellow is less than 3, equal to 3, or 3, but because I picked 3, I'd be specifically testing if it's equal to 3. I could choose to find out if it's odd, because I picked an odd number. I can choose to find out if blue is greater than purple. So basically, because in this situation, I have a number that is blue is greater than purple, I am testing to see if that's a potentially valid criteria. And I could test if there's more even numbers than odd numbers. I actually, now that I've looked at these, I'm going to change my code. And I'm going to go with 5, 4, 1. That can stay the same. Okay, confirm 5, 4, 1. Okay. Now, if I can start checking criteria, I can no longer change my code. But I am going to check to see if yellow is greater than 3. It is not greater than 3. So that means it can't be 5 or 4. So it still can be equal to or less than 3. Next, I'm going to test if it's even. Okay, so it can't be 2. And the main objective of this game is try to figure out what the code is in the fewest possible rounds, and you get up to 3 tests per round. In a multiplayer game, the tiebreaker, if you solve it in the same round, is fewest questions total. Okay, so do I want to check if blue is greater than purple or if there's more odds than evens? I'd be technically testing, more odds. Let's find out if blue is greater than purple. It is greater than purple. And I can actually make notes. Because in the next round, I believe I'll be getting new. Equal to or less than 3. Okay, and I'll getting new tests in the next round. So, and then I did determine that yellow is odd. And this would be all done in secret. People might, accidentally see your combo you're testing with, but they shouldn't ever see your results or your notes you've taken on your results. Blue is greater than purple. So at the end of a round, you'd see if anybody's ready to check, can guess what the number is. I definitely need another round. Okay, you must enter a code in the machine. So I need to pick a new code. Oh, do I get the same testers? Okay. I thought those changed up. They maybe do, but I might have to check my code, pick my code before I get to see what the new ones are. Okay, so I want to test. Okay, I know that blue is greater than purple. So let's do 3 for blue. I know that. Let's do 1 for yellow and 2 for purple. Okay. Oh, I really do get the same test. Interesting. So I could find out for sure what number yellow is at this point. But I think I need to test this one. So that's telling me that there are not more odds than evens. So there's more evens than odds. So that means both of these have to be even numbers. So I just eliminated a lot there. Okay, and then I already know blue is greater than purple. So the only thing I don't know, actually, if I can. So actually, this cannot be 2, and that cannot be 4, because they're greater, not equal. Correct. So the only thing I don't know is what number yellow is, but I can find out by doing this. It is less than 3, so it cannot be 3. So I now know the number. So the number is 412, and let's verify that. Yes, I want to make that my final answer. Your guess is correct. It was 412. Okay, so that was a simple game. Let's play again. Okay, so we're on to our second game, and I've upped the difficulty to standard difficulty. Now that I figured out how to do that, it was a little unclear because you have to do it before you start the game, not mid-game. So these should be slightly more difficult. I will try again with hard after this. This is a very quick game. So I can test if blue is even or odd, which number's smaller. So I can test which is the smallest number. If there's more evens or odds. If a number repeats itself. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I want to test even if there's more even odds and if there's repeat numbers. So I'm going to do 1/4. Actually, let's do 3. Let's do this. Okay. So I'm going to test if there's a double number. Yes, there's a double number. Doesn't mean there can't be a triple, I guess. There's at least a double. Okay, so next I'm going to test if blue is even or odd. So it's not odd, so it must be even. And then I'll test if blue is the lowest number. It is the lowest number. Okay. So I don't know the number yet. Okay, so I know blue is the lowest number, and it's even. So it's most likely 2. And let's go with 3, which also means it can't be a triple number, because if there was a triple number, there could be no lowest number. So, yeah, that's kind of logic you have to use in this game. So I do find this interesting so far. Oh, my thing's cut off a little bit. Let me fix that. There we go. 2, 3, 3. Yes, let's go with that. So let's see if there's more odds than evens. There are more evens than odds. Doesn't actually give me a whole lot of information. Huh. There's more evens than odds. I know that there's a double number. So it could be... No. There's more evens. Okay, so the only way that could be true if this number is 244. Because blue has to be the lowest, so that means it cannot double up with any other number. So we can't have any other 2s. We do know that there's more evens than odds, so the only other number that yellow or blue can be is 4s. It's the only way it can double, because they do have to repeat. So I am going to pass. And I did that in only 4 clues, so actually feeling kind of smart, even though this is just standard difficulty. Let's verify, make sure it's correct before I... yes, I guess correct. So I'm not fooling myself into thinking I'm smarter than I am. So let's do this once again. Game number 3 on hard mode now. Okay, let's look at my clues. Are there double numbers or triple numbers or no repeats? Is a specific number greater than 3? The sum of all the numbers is a multiple of 3, 4, or 5. Interesting. Which color is the smallest or the largest? Okay. Interesting. This is definitely up the difficulty. So this does pair well with this, though. Because I can find out if somebody's smallest number or is either the smallest or largest. Okay, the only way this will work if only one number is greater than 3. Otherwise, it's going to give me an invalid result. Oh, so that's not really how it works. So if I put the 5 here and like a purple yellow, I don't know whether blue is the largest or it's telling me, with a little purple, whether purple is the smallest. So it could be, I think that's how that works. Now, the rule book, if I had it, which actually I do at the bottom, but I'm not going to go into it, would probably clarify that. So let's go 5, 3, 1 for my first one. which is a multiple of 3. So I can test if it's a multiple of 3. And I can check if there's no repetition. So I'm going to, I'll test if it's a multiple of 3. It is not a multiple of 3. Okay, and I can test if there's no repeats. And then I can test if blue is greater than 3. It is not. Is equal to or less than 3. Okay. So that's I have no clue what the number is at this point. But the only thing I can narrow down is that it could be straight across just 333. What I want to do is 3, 4, 3. So that'd be 6, 10, multiple of 5. I can test if it's a multiple of 5. And I can test if it's double, and I can test if yellow's greater than. It is not a multiple of 5. Okay. Is yellow greater than 3? Yes, it's greater than 3. So, boom, boom, boom. It has repeats. Well, then I don't need to test this because I know it can't be a triple number, and I know it has to have a double then. Because there's no way this could be triple. Okay, let's find out what this says. Which color is the smallest or the largest? It's only going to tell me if yellow is not the largest. Oh, it doesn't really tell me anything. That was a waste. Because if the repeats, actually it does tell me something. Because I think, if I understand the way this works so far. But this might have counted as a. No, I don't think it counts as a. If I understand the way this works, he's telling me that. But I might be confused on this one. So now I just have to figure out. So this is the only one that's useful now. If it's a multiple, well, I know it's not a multiple of 3. So it can't be 6. Can't be 12. I know it's not a multiple of 5, so it can't be. So no, it can't be 144, but it can be 155. 244 is not possible. And okay, so 2 is not possible. So either combination is either 10 or 12, which is both not valid. 11, 13, these are both possible. 9 is not possible, but 11 is. So how do I narrow it down further? 4, 4, 3. Give me 443 or 551. Those are so I got two possible numbers, and there's nothing here that would actually tell me unless I got something wrong. I can see. I may have something wrong here. Well, there's got to be a way to narrow this down. Let me think this through. I don't understand this is the problem 100%. So if I do one, I think I'm just going to have to take a guess. 551 is incorrect. So what is 552? But that'd be a multiple of 3. So for this one, my number is what? 552 is 12, but this told me it's not. That bugs me. So that should be impossible. Maybe somebody in the comments can answer why this could be possible. If I did something wrong, did I do this test wrong? I don't know. Hey, it's future me coming back with a clarification on what went wrong in Game 3. It's not the easiest concept to explain, so please bear with me. The first thing you have to understand is the check versus X does not mean true versus false. It's true versus an unknown outcome. So what does that mean? Basically, the system is set up to only know one possible answer. In the basic and standard game, that doesn't really matter a whole lot because all of the tests are mutually exclusive. If a number is odd, it cannot therefore be even. However, in the advanced game, some of these results are not mutually exclusive. However, the system still only has one answer. So in the example shown, where the total result of the combination was 12, the system knew that the number was divisible by 4. It did not know whether the number was divisible by 3 or 5. So it could only give a positive result on 4. So giving a positive 4 does not mean that it's not also divisible by 3. Giving a false result on 3, or inconclusive result on 3, does not necessarily mean it's not divisible by 3. It's just not in the knowledge set of the test. That's about as clear as mud, but hopefully that makes sense. The short form of it is you're not testing whether something's true or false. You're testing if it's true or unknown. It's basically just a puzzle. It's logic puzzle. It definitely, I think having the physical rules to, with the clarifications on how these are read would have helped a lot with this complex one, but otherwise, it's fine. It's not one I would pull out or suggest. I don't feel like it'd necessarily be fun to play against other people. It's like, it seems like the whole goal is just like prove you're smarter than the other player, which I don't feel is fun. And it's like, if you're not the smarter player, then you just feel dumb. So I can see some people liking that. This is not really for me, though. I mean, I may try it with other people just to be sure, but yeah, I don't think this is something I'm picking up.